Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be talking about Fortnite's last big update and things that will be coming out in the next chapter and our season, since they haven't officially announced what the heck is going on. So they actually showed off some pictures and a sneak peek on basically what's going to be happening in the next chapter or season on Fortnite. So this is over on the PlayStation AU, which is Australia. They showed off this picture over here which says boarding pass and it says Sydney, Australia. So it looks like that's where we're going to be going in the next chapter. So first off, I'm going to be showing you guys some pictures via Hypex. He's a guy that leaks a lot of Fortnite content really early sometimes. And anyways, here is the Fortnite ANZ teaser. So we might be going to Australia and New Zealand. If you guys don't know what ANZ is, because they're putting a hashtag Fortnite ANZ, and that is Australia and New Zealand. So basically what it comes down to is there's 5 pictures over here. Let's zoom in on them. You can see it says New Zealand over here. This might be like an airport. Maybe we're getting some new like vehicles. That'd be cool to see airplanes in Fortnite. Not the same ones though, maybe some different ones. That'd be cool. It looks like a new POI over here. It almost reminds me of like Snobby Shores. If you guys remember that era. It looks like there's an aquarium. Maybe we're getting like a aquarium area. There's also what looks like to be some sort of cafeteria area over here, as well as maybe like a park, because I see the city in the background, so I don't think it's a jungle, but that is some extra stuff that was shown off. In addition to that, this is basically the last big update that we're getting. Basically, from now on for the next week, we're basically getting more shadow floppers as well as the Naruto kunais, and it's supposed to be like a shadow theme because obviously, you know, Naruto ninjas, they just came out with the skin to make sense. So that's like the last big update. But I also want to talk about the stage that's being built. You'll see it in the background in the gameplay in here in a moment. That basically, this is near Pleasant Park, and they're building like this giant stage. This is already in the game right now, and this is like the last big update. But I also want to use this, okay, there's also one last like thing that's coming through, and it's the last voting. So we're actually going to be voting for either the proximity launcher or the Flintlock, which is really cool. But now I want to talk a little bit more about like the season as a whole, my thoughts, and talk about what might be coming. So this is more so like official, this is for sure, but the next thing I'm going to talk about is unknown. We may not get these for a while, but there's one big change that could be coming out if Chapter 3 is coming out. I think this would be a big thing that would be coming out. So this was actually in September. They're working on a new slide update. Sometimes they keep files just as like a placeholder, and then they release it the next season or chapter. But they're going to have this new slide mechanic that lets you slide. It's got a cooldown of 2 seconds. This is not in the game yet, and again, this is not official, so keep in mind this stuff could never come out, and it could come out next season. Heck, it could come out tomorrow, I don't know. But they are working on a slide mechanic, which could be kind of interesting to see. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward the gameplay a little bit so you can see. Yeah, this is basically we're coming up to the new area. This is where they're constructing that like giant stage, which it's probably gonna have some sort of event. But I want to use this time to also talk more about like my thoughts on the season. I'm curious to know your guys' thoughts as well. Hopefully they will be adding that slide mechanic because, like, you know, Halo has a slide mechanic, Apex, Call of Duty, like all the games have slide mechanics. How come Fortnite doesn't have one, right? I think that would be kind of interesting to see if they do add that into the future. I just like as many new things as possible, even if they release it, you know, and they end up removing it. Maybe it's something that you get and you have to like activate it. But nonetheless, I would like to see just some big change because this season on Fortnite, I felt like we really didn't get anything that new, other than the combat AR, which is basically similar to the tactical AR, if you guys remember that. So, like, this is the combat assault rifle. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen it. It's good, especially in the, like, legendary variant. It's insane. But the tactical assault rifle is very similar. And if we go back to, like, what is new this season, like, yeah, we got the sideways weapons, but when do you see people use sideways weapons? I never see people carry those anymore. And like with the whole cube crafting, what are people crafting with the cubes? Nothing, because this thing just simply isn't good. I would have even been okay if they made some of the sideways weapons just a little bit OP for the last week, because no one's going to those areas to pick up the sideways weapons. No one's killing the bosses to get the sideways weapons. Even when they came out with the sideways Scythe, which I was actually super hyped up about, this thing, but it just wasn't good. It's not even close to as good as a sword. And even if we look at the new Mythics, technically there's really no exotics that we got that were like completely new, right? Like we've already had the dub you can randomly get in the game. There's the Dragonfire Sniper, which I'll be showing you guys gameplay of, but that's old. Like the Naruto thing was a cool idea, but it's really not that great. And it's like the only thing that I would say is kind of newer that we got in this season that's like, oh, you could maybe throw it at people's walls and you shoot the walls and you can make it explode and they'll still take the damage. But I still think that we could have gotten, like, the kunais could have been really cool. In fact, the only thing that I felt like was really cool this season was the Mythic Venom Symbiote, if you guys remember that, where you could grab people through the walls. That thing was insanely powerful, but that's an old item too. We had that during like the Marvel superhero thing, so I felt like they really could have gave us newer things this season to play around with. Like the whole shockwave thing is cool, but we already had that before. And even before, like, we could just craft the shockwave bow from last season. I thought this was cool because we had so many different bows to craft. I remember a lot of people like the shockwave bow, some people like the stink bow, the bow with little dynamite tips. That was cool, and I think that was a really good, like, thing that we got with the whole primal and mechanical, like we would gather bones. I thought that was a really cool idea, and then you could tame the animals, but honestly, it wasn't really that good. Hopefully this season, or this next chapter, because it could be like this new season or chapter, because again, they haven't officially told us anything other than we're going to Australia. Oh, you know what? I actually got some more pictures here. So this is the boarding pass. And so Sydney, Auckland, Brisbane, Perth, and Melbourne. And there's actually one more picture which shows off maybe a new vehicle, which would be interesting. Would you guys like to see surfboards in the next season of Fortnite? Because, I mean, it'd probably only be usable via the water, but how would we get, like, waves? I don't know. This is another picture over here. This is, again, just tweeted out, because to keep in mind, Australia's like 1 day ahead of us, so by the time you get it, it'll probably be in a normal time zone. But since they're going to get the stuff early, they're tweeting things out. So I think it'd be cool to see surfboards, like, return in the game in some way. I remember we could, like, hook onto a shark, if you guys remember that we could do in a previous season. You could tame the shark, and then you could go across water. But, like, unless, like, half the map is in water next season, which it could be. Surfboards, I don't know how viable it would be. It'd be cool to be able to, like, maybe shoot while on the surfboard. You know how Fortnite just comes up with weird ideas. I want to see more of that this season. Hopefully, we'll be able to check out more of that content. I'm going to fast forward the gameplay over here. But what would you guys like to see in the next season of Fortnite? I honestly want to see weapons that are completely new. I want to see, like, a new shotgun, a new AR or SMG. This season, like I said, the combat AR, it's cool and it's a good weapon, but, like, it's really nothing too new. Like I mentioned before, the tactical AR is just too similar. I think that we could get, like, a new shotgun, and I want to see new exotics, like the Dragon's Breath Sniper. Don't get me wrong, I like this thing. This thing is so awesome. But at the end of the day, there's really nothing that new this season that came out. Like, there is, like, technically there's not that many new POIs either. There are some, like, henchman areas, and we didn't get any, like, really cool exotics at all. I feel like someone let me know if there are any new exotics that we only got in this season, because like I said, the dub and a lot of the other things, we've already gotten them before, and they're cool, but I want to see new things, right? That's the whole reason of coming back to a new season. I mean, if you're telling your friend, oh, you haven't played Fortnite in a long time? Hey, you should hop on. There's this, you know, now. Like, we have the mechs that recently got added, but mechs, again, are old. I want new content at the end of the day, you know, as a content creator, not just for myself, but I think that that keeps people interested in the game. There's a reason to hop on versus, like, okay, there's a new chapter or season, and literally, like, okay, well, what's new? Well, they added a combat AR, and, like, while it is kind of new, I want things to craft that are on a consistent basis that we will see in a game. Like, back before with the primal shotgun, before they nerfed it, I know a lot of people always like to craft that, and there's the crafting of the bows. Like, people actually crafted things, and I feel like this season the whole crafting mechanic was cool, and we don't even use it at all. Like, occasionally you'll see people craft, like, the rapid fire SMG, but overall I would say it's very, very seldom. It's not like what we would have people craft before. So hopefully they can buff up the cubes or something next season. I'm gonna fast forward. This guy was a little bit annoying at the very end. He was all about, like, the turtling up, so it takes us a while, but we'll get the Vic Roy over here. But like I said, I'm curious to know, what would you guys like to see in this next upcoming season of Fortnite? I want to see new weapons, new POIs, because I felt like, I mean, look at this map over here at the very end. Like, we didn't really get that many new POIs. Like, technically, I know that the slipstreams kind of added something new, but for the most part, it's basically what we've had for so dang long. I want a new POI, even though the pyramid is new. Like, it was like the only one new POI, and we didn't even get it at the very beginning. We had to wait a really long time for it, but it is interesting because, like, you can't you can bounce around in there and you can't really get mats there. So it's an interesting like POI to land at the very beginning. But anyways, those are my thoughts wrapping up this video. Let me know yours down below. But if you enjoyed the video and want to see new Fortnite stuff as soon as it comes out, I'll be dropping it because I'm really excited for the next season. I'm just hoping they add like new weapons, new exotics, and maybe some new mythics that are actually good. Like the kunai is fun and all, but let's be real, it's not on the same level as some of the previous mythics and exotics that we got. But anyways, if you enjoyed the video, drop a like on it. If you're new and do want to see more content, hit subscribe, turn the bell, and you'll definitely see it more very soon. Take care, and I'll catch you guys in the next vid. I'm out. Peace.